Yo, what's up guys? Today we're ranking the top 10 wide receivers that play with Big Ben. Let's get straight into it. Coming in number 10, I got Martavis Bryant. For 3 years, Martavis Bryant was one of the most electrifying number 2 wide receivers in the league. He caught 111 receptions, he had 1,670 yards and 14 touchdowns from Big Ben. This man made some insane catches. There was that one catch he caught from caught under his legs against the Bengals in the playoffs. That was like one of the best catches I've seen in my life, other than that Odell catch and other catch. But other than that, I would have loved to see more of Martavis Bryant if it wasn't for his like drug problems and other stuff. He could have been something even better in the league if he just kept himself in check. I think he could have been a top 5 wide receiver for the Steelers if he just got help and just got back to where he was. I'm trying to say, but right now I'm ranking him at number 10 because he's still one of that electrifying wide receiver that I loved to watch when I was a kid. But I can't rank him any higher because he only played 3 seasons with the Steelers. So Martavis Bryant, number 10. At number 9, I got Antoine Reynolds. Yeah, I know Antoine Reynolds is not the most flashy wide receiver to play with Big Ben, but he was one of those wide receivers that just got the job done. He always makes the right plays and never did anything stupid. And when Big Ben was passing to him, he had 77 receptions, 1,152 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He also had that amazing pass to Hines Ward in the Super Bowl. That was one of the better plays I've seen in the Super Bowl in my life. But he will always be a top 10 wide receiver because that one pass from Antoine Reynolds just puts him over the top and makes him in like the top 10 wide receivers that play with Big Ben. So yeah, Antoine Reynolds at number 9. All right, number 8, I got Deontay Johnson. Deontay Johnson is one of the younger wide receivers that got to play with Big Ben in his career, but he surely did not disappoint. When Ben was passing to Johnson, he had 189 catches, 1,947 yards and 15 touchdowns. It's sad to see we could not see more of this duo because it looks like Deontay Johnson is just hitting his stride and becoming one of the superstars in the league. And while Big Ben is just was about to retire. I wish I could have seen more highlight plays together, but it is what it is because I'm happy they still got to play together, and Deontay Johnson knows what it's like to play with an actual legend. So yeah, I got Deontay Johnson number 8. Coming in at number 7, I got JuJu SmithSchuster. Another one of those younger wide receivers that Big Ben played with is JuJu. JuJu was that reliable wide receiver that always made the tough catches and the big plays when you needed it. And that's why Big Ben loved him. When Big Ben was passing to JuJu, he had 277 receptions, 3,257 yards, and 21 touchdowns. These last 4 years with Big Ben has been a fun one. And I wish I could have seen him with Big Ben for his last year, but I can't complain because he had so many good highlights with Big Ben and he learned so much from Big Ben. And that's why I got JuJu at number 7 because he's that up and coming wide receiver, and I wish the goodest of luck of JuJu wherever he goes because I don't think he's gonna be in the Steelers anymore after this year. So I got JuJu at number 7. All right, coming in number 6, I got Emmanuel Sanders. The Steelers always had a lot of talented wide receivers in the years, and one of those wide receivers has been Emmanuel Sanders. Sanders had a good 4-year stint with the Steelers where he had 148 catches, 1,813 yards, and 11 touchdowns from Big Ben. He was definitely one of the better number 2 wide receivers the Steelers had, and that's why I got him at number 6, because before there was Martavis Bryant, there was Emmanuel Sanders. Emmanuel Sanders was really good. All right, coming in at number 5, I got Mike Wallace. Mike Wallace is one of the most dangerous deep threats that Big Ben play with. His size and speed cannot be compared, and that's why Big Ben loved him. When Big Ben was passing to Mike Wallace, Wallace had 212 receptions, 3,672 yards, and 30 touchdowns. He was that star before AB broke out. And if you see these clips, Mike Wallace was like that dude. You just like chuck it up, and he was always gonna beat the corner. It was fun seeing Big Ben chuck it up to Mike Wallace every Sunday. I would watch him. How old was I? I was about like 10 or 12, around there. But yeah, seeing them play together was like a treat to see. And I wish I could have seen Emmanuel Sanders, Antonio Brown, and Mike Wallace all played together in that 2012 season, but they parted ways, so we didn't really get to see that trio together. But Mike Wallace is a great wide receiver, and he was one of the better wide receivers that played with Big Ben, and that's why I got number 5. So let's get to the next person. All right, coming in at number 4, I got the man who made the most iconic catch in Super Bowl history, Antonio Holmes. He was one of the better wide receivers that played with Big Ben, having 224 receptions, 3,657 yards, and 19 touchdowns. from Big Ben, and having the best season of his career in 2009 when he had 79 receptions, 1,248 yards, and 5 touchdowns. This man has some amazing years with Big Ben, and that's why I got him ranked so high. And let me get this straight, I didn't really get the chance to watch Antonio Holmes fully because I was kind of really young when he started out his career, but I got to see like the later end of his career. Before he went to the Jets, I got to see that. But what I've seen in the highlights, I thought he was one of the better wide receivers that played with Big Ben. And yeah, that's why I got him ranked so high. And plus that catch alone from the Cardinals Super Bowl win, I just think that's that would rank him top 5 wide receivers for Big Ben. But yeah, so I got Antonio Holmes at number 4. Alright, coming in number 3, I got Heath Miller. Miller was Big Ben's favorite target throughout the years. He was always reliable and never dropped pass, and he looked like a lineman, and he could block like a lineman, and he can catch passes like an all-pro. That's why Heath Miller was one of my favorite Steelers to watch when I was little. But when Big Ben was passing to Miller, he had 545 receptions, 5,974 yards, and 42 touchdowns. You can't have a top 10 wide receiver list without having Heath Miller on that list, because Miller was always Big Ben's favorite target every year. He always had like the highest receptions on the team almost every year, and that's why Heath Miller is ranked so high, because even though he's not a receiver, he was playing like a receiver for Big Ben. So Heath Miller at number 3. Coming in number 2, I got Hines Ward. Alright, it's time to shake up this receiver list for the Steelers. Even though Ward has put up more consistent 1,000-yard season with the Steelers, AB has had that 6-year stint where he was just a monster. He was putting up like record-breaking numbers every year, and it was like blowing everybody's mind. But even, don't get me wrong, Ward is an amazing wide receiver too, but he was just not on the level that Antonio Brown was playing at the time. The stats do show that Hines Ward was an amazing wide receiver. I'm not saying Hines Ward was not a good wide receiver. He's still number 2, but I just think AB's better. But he still had some good years with Big Ben, where he had 527 receptions, 6,408 yards, and 46 touchdowns. I didn't really get to watch much of Hines Ward. He was really, like, when I started watching it, it was like closer to his like end of his career, and it sucks that I couldn't watch him because he looked like a great wide receiver that would be amazing to watch. But it is what it is. I'm still giving respect to Hines Ward because he's still one of the best Steelers wide receivers ever. So Hines Ward at number 2. Alright, coming at number 1, I got my favorite wide receiver of all time, Antonio Brown. This duo was like the reason why I really got into football, because I wasn't really invested into football. Well, I was playing football, but I wasn't really invested into it until I watched this duo. When I watched this duo on TV, it was like I was watching must-watch football. This team was so good because Big Ben would just throw it up to Antonio Brown the whole time, and Antonio Brown would just make some amazing catches. This time, it was so fun to watch the team at this time because it looked like it was like an unbreakable bond. These two people looked like friends at the time. But it's sad to see that they couldn't end their careers together, because they had some truly impressive like stats together. Because AB had 804 catches, 10,768 yards, and 78 touchdowns when he was getting passed to by Big Ben, and that's some crazy stats that could have been like Hall of Fame level stuff. If they just stick together, they could have done even more. But it's sad to see like Antonio Brown's like career ended up like that, because he went off the rails after was it like 2015? No, it's like 2017, 2016. I'm pretty sure that's right. 2017 or 2016, when he went off the rails and like started chucking stuff out the window. I forgot what it was. It was like he's just chucking chairs out the window and stuff, kicking his family out of his house. It was so much stuff. It was sad to see him like get to that level, because he was my favorite wide receiver, and it was hard to like stick with him at the time because he was doing so much crazy stuff, and I didn't know like who he was anymore, really. But I'm happy for all those highlights he gave us, because people are gonna look back at that in like 10 years and say like those were like some amazing years from Antonio Brown, the Hall of Famer or something like that. And I got to watch that. That's the crazy part about it, and that's why I think Antonio Brown is number 1. It's a little bit biased, but you could have been. It's like 1A, 1B, because Hines Ward and Antonio Brown are both amazing wide receivers, and I think you can rank them any way you want. But for me, I would say Antonio Brown would be number 1 wide receiver for the Steelers. But that's it for the video. Have a good day, and peace.